Good morning, everyone. It's Carolyn Moor with Modern Widows Club. And we're doing something new this morning. We're using a program called Restream, and we're going to be streaming this on our YouTube, Modern Widows Club YouTube channel, and on Facebook Live. So we hope everything is going fine this morning. And I have a topic this morning. It's called Living with Heart, Passion, and Joy. And I've been doing a lot of research just recently on just women's health in general. And so I've been thinking, a few years ago, I had some kidney problems and I started researching, like, where's the emotional impact of why did that happen? Why it really kind of came down to hydration and all of these things. But, you know, I had to have something done this year, and they did an EKG, and I had heart palpitations, and I was like, that's weird. And so I started really researching a little bit more about women's health and about what's going on with women's hearts, right? We know that those are the emotional center, but in widowhood and in grief and in life transitions, I was just curious to learn a little bit more. And what I found is that 1 in 2 women die of heart disease. And so, you hear many times, and I've actually met women in MWC where they actually had a heart attack, and you hear that women's hearts become fragile. They become just the issues start happening around their hearts when they're in widowhood. And so it really made me start to think about, how did that happen? I was seated next to a cardiologist one time on a long flight from LA, and I actually asked him, does anyone study widows and heart conditions or cardiovascular issues? And he said no. He said, but we see that all the time, because when someone loses a spouse, they're in intense stress and anxiety. And so maybe someday they'll study that. But right now, heart disease is 1 out of 2 women will die. And we know that there's a correlation between stress and anxiety, losing a spouse, widows, and this. And so when we talk about health here at MWC, I really want you to understand that we go into deep depths to really research what it is that women are experiencing. And I think in October, 1 in 25 women will die of breast cancer. We hear about that all the time. We don't necessarily always hear about heart disease, though. But the connection between the heart and the mind is strong. And in widowhood, we are being asked to wake up and live and speak our truth, which can be a lot all at the same time. The heart chakra, the energy, is physical, and sometimes we have symptoms like palpitations, indigestion, hypertension, jaw pain. I learned that in keeping an open mind and an open heart, and many women are empaths. They really feel emotions. They have high intuitions. All of these things play into what makes you so important and valuable. I also found out that women's brains and actually hearts are different. Men mainly work from the left side of the brain, which is more linear and more logical. And women actually work from both hemispheres, right and left. And so we've got the right side of the brain that's working, and it's connecting to the heart. And interestingly enough, there's actually more neural connections between the heart and the right side of the brain. And so when we talk about how more heart-centered women are, the science and the biology actually backs it, right? So when women are living with so much heart and passion and joy, and it's actually biological, is the blood vessels around a woman's heart is actually smaller than men. And so there's a lot of concern about how to care for your heart health. And that's really, at the bottom line, what I really want to talk to you guys about, because hormones and imbalances and heart health, and then, grief is held in the lungs. This is why breathing is so important. And breathing, the lungs are so closely connected to the heart and how our body functions, the automated parts of our life, of our physical body. And so this heart, mind, and spirit, it is very real for widows. And so it's not just in our heads. I read that an EKG signal coming from the heart is 60 times stronger than an EEG signal coming from brain waves. So that means that the heart is always going to win. And you, as a woman, because you are more heart-centered and you are using both hemispheres, your right and your left brain, you actually have an advantage to be able to heal, find hope, and heal and grow. And this is the reason why, like, widowers get remarried in between 1 to 3 years. They actually need women's intuition, their heart, their passion, their joy to heal. Whereas women go on to actually heal, and then they have that person to offer. So it was really encouraging for me to get behind this science and biology and learn that if we work towards having a more open mind and open heart, even in our pain and suffering, we are going to come out the other end more resilient, more empowered, strong, wise, all of those amazing things. So we move towards feeling more powerful than powerless. And in a broad perspective, it's actually leading us all home to who we truly are, what we have to offer the world. And this is why we talk so much about women's health here, because you must go through and not around all of the ups and downs of widowhood. You must go through. And when you go through with a community of other people who are doing that, which is what we're doing here at MWC, you get to your future in a more healthy way. And so I hope that is encouraging to you this morning, that by engaging in this community, really understanding the power of your own biology, encourages you to keep finding hope and compassion and keep going. So I have a word, and it's a great word. It's called Jeong. Chung. Can you see that? It's Korean, and it stands for deep affection and attachment that doesn't necessarily imply romance. Sympathy, compassion, kindness, a strong affinity, loyalty, and connectedness. We all definitely would like to have some more Chung. I love that word. Never heard of it before. Okay, so I've got some things to tell you this week. Okay, so Thursday, we're actually having a webinar for widows called Social Security Planning. If you have not signed up for that yet, you still have a chance. You need to go to Inside Look, sign up for our Inside Look newsletter. You'll be receiving that login, or if you well, you know what, it might come out too late this Thursday. So if you want to email us at support@modernwidowsclub.org, we'll send you that registration link. But it's only, we have a special guest that only is going to be talking about Social Security. Obviously, that's in the United States, and about planning. And so if you have questions, or you want to learn the basics, or whether you qualify, or when you can pull that out, just show up. I mean, it's going to be, I think we already had like 30 people sign up for it. So you are welcome to do that. And hopefully, I did finish my TEDx presentation, and I found out this morning that it did get approved, and they are very excited to have that at TEDx Oakland. And so hopefully in a week or maybe 2 weeks, we're going to be able to share that. And I'm excited for you to see it. It's how to comfort someone through grief. And I really enjoyed creating that presentation. Now, Widow Empowerment event in Houston, Texas on September 17th through 19th. We're probably going to have our registration tickets open this week, fingers crossed. I know all of you guys are waiting for it, because anyone who has gone to this event knows how powerful it is, and how fun it is, and how we're going to have 3 tracks: hope and help. Hope and heal, grow and lead, and fatherless daughters this year. And so we're now just starting to sign up our speakers for that, and our sponsors. And I cannot wait for you guys to come. Just save the date, whatever you can do to make it possible to come to Houston, Texas. I think you will be very loved and supported with that. So some of you guys actually sent in your 1 million widows sign. This is for International Widows Day on June 23rd. We're putting together a video, and you can potentially be in our video if you send us a hashtag 1 million widows sign with your photo. Take a picture, send it to us to support@modernwidowsclub.org. And who knows? We just want to show the real faces of widowhood on that day that we're raising awareness. And so I think that's everything that I have for you guys this morning. Thank you. I was a little bit late getting on, but we had this new platform, and I hope it works out great. But go over to modernwidowsclub.org and take advantage of all of the outreach, all the clubs in a club, all the podcasts, all the videos on YouTube, our blog. We have so much for you over there to be supported. So reach out and grab some of it. I love you guys. Hope you're motivated for this week, and I'll see you next week.